Having started the Scout movement in 1907 for boys of 11, Baden Powell soon found that their younger brothers were coming along to meetings, and so in 1916 he started a new section for this age group. He called them Wolf Cubs and used Rudyard Kipling's book called The Jungle Book as a theme for his activities and adventures. We still use the characters from the Jungle Book for names for our leaders, like Kayla, Barloo, Bagheera. You've probably got them in your packs. Badges back then, as now, were earned for tasks undertaken and skills learned. Over the years, the badges have changed in look and content to keep up with our young people's interests, but the message is still the same. Have fun while learning safely about life, experiences, getting on with each other and the wider world.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I explain that the Wolf Cubs are the junior branch of the Boy Scout movement, and their scheme of activities is designed to develop in the boy of that age, from 8 to 10, the character that is going to make a man of him later on, and to give him the first steps in knowledge outside the mere scholastic instruction of the classroom. This howl that you have just heard is the expression of the boys of their loyalty to their chief and their determination to carry out their duty. As they squat in a circle round their leader, they sing out, Akela, or Great Wolf. We'll dob, dob, dob. Dob stands for D-O-B. D for do, O for our, B for best. Do our best. It means we'll do our best to play the game, whatever it may be. So you see, this is not an imitation military show, but a scheme of games and woodcraft by which boys widen their outlook and learn healthy activities in happy companionship outside the school walls.
As World War II raged on, many groups across the country continued to meet. In many cases where leaders from one group went on war duty, those groups would have joint meetings with others. Wolf Cubs gained bronze, silver and gold arrows, and later the Cub Scout Award, the Adventure Award and the Adventure Crest Award, and also the Cub Scout Challenge. Now Cub Scouts earn challenge badges, with their top award being the Chief Scout Silver Award. Eventually Wolf Cubs became Cub Scouts and girls were allowed to join the packs. That was in 1990. Now there are Cub Scouts in most countries of the world. Along the way, uniforms for both youth members and leaders have changed. Cub Scouts used to wear short trousers with long socks held up with garters. They also wore caps. Once a cub had been in the pack for 1 year, he received a star, which he wore on his cap and was said to have had one eye open. After 2 years, he received a second star and then had both eyes open in readiness for his transfer into the scout troop. Leaders wore green skirts or dresses and also had a hat. In June 1989, hats in all sections were stopped. Over the years, we've celebrated and learnt about lots of different things. For instance, many of your leaders will remember Rainbow Year in 1986 and the Wizzy Water Year and our Promise Year. Camping still remains the most popular Cub Scout activity. Wolf Cubs used to put their kit and tents into a trek cart and pull it along to their campsite. Now Cub Scouts camp in many different venues, not always scouting campsites. In Leicestershire recently, Cubs have camped at Warwick Castle, Alton Towers, Mallory Park Racing, held sleepovers at a circus ring at Blackpool Tower and the Space Centre. This year we have been celebrating 100 years of Cub Scouts. In Leicestershire we started the year by issuing a challenge to Cub Scouts to take part in 100 challenges, 33 each term, followed by a final Promise Party attendance challenge. Cubs have earned a badge for each term's challenges completed. In February, we visited the Black Country Living Museum and were able to see how children lived, went to school, dressed, ate and played nearly a century ago. In June, we had our Centenary Camp where Cubs had over 40 activities to choose from. The Cubs formed a giant Cubs 100 logo on the racetrack at Mallory to end a great weekend. 2 days of water activities were held in September at the Outdoor Pursuit Centre and were attended by over 400 Cubs. Packs have been having their own celebrations, including thanks parties where they invited local people to say thank you for all the help they give the pack. Our final celebration will be on Friday the 16th of December, 100 years since Wolf Cubs started. We will renew our promise with a group of Cub Scouts at Leicester City Football Club on Friday morning, and then in the evening over 1100 Cubs and Scouts and their leaders will join together for our final birthday celebration at Donington Park to renew our promises and take part in, hopefully, Guinness Book of Records record breaker. What a great year!
Anyway, so put yourself back in the middle of the board. That's it. You see where the middle is, where that handle is in the middle? What's your name?
George.
George? Yeah, that's it. So you stand there, kneel there, a bit further. That's it, grab your paddle.
Grab your paddle.
Grab your paddle now. Hold on to the paddle like I showed you. Okay, and just give him a little push away. There you go. Okay. That's it.
I'm not standing up.
Okay. You mind if I stand up?
Yeah. And the other one.
Okay.
Let's go forward.
You do, just paddle down the side of your boat.
George, stand up.
Do you remember how I told you to hold the paddle? Your hand
Stand up.
goes over there. You want to stand up, do you?
No.
Okay, well you can stay kneeling down, it's not a problem. You're lying there, that's even better. Like a teenager.
Who's got it front? You are, because you're at the back. Come on then.
Trying to go forward.
Sit on.
The truck too far. Oh, big hole in the wall.
morning at the King Power Stadium, home of Leicester City Football Club, who we're all really proud of, along with our Super Trophy and Filbert. And we're going to renew our promise to celebrate 100 years of Cub Scouting, which started 100 years ago today. So everybody stand to attention, make a nice Cub salute, and will repeat after me. I promise to do my best to do my duty to my God and the Queen to help other people and to keep the Cub Scout law.